All right, here we go. So we have a new tournament coming up, but we just finished off the last tournament, the 9-hole cup. Let's see how I did. 5th. I needed to pick up a 15. There's a 17 at the top, but the 15 would have put me in second and just could not. I shot 2 14s this week, but smoked a bunch of cups, came super close, but no dice. No practice, no notes, no nothing. So, like, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about that. Come on. It's a top 5. It's a top 10. Can't win them all. We got to be democratic here. Top 10. Some cheddar. Some clan points. Some backbones. Extra mile. I wish that would have been the freaking big topper. That's what I was looking for, is a big topper right there. I'm only like 6 away from getting my big topper to level 8. And it hasn't come up anywhere for like the last couple weeks. Dag nabbit. Let's see if it's in the store. Let's see. No dice. I do have a club card trade, and I could get 3 right here. I'm gonna get this razor to 10,000, and I'm gonna cap it up, break it open. I've gotten that deal is like shit for like the last month. I think I've only one time have I put anything into the bank. I've been getting pretty decent cards in the club card trading every day. Every day. All right, what do we have going on this week is this new tournament is at Juniper Point, and we have new pin placements, and I think this is the first time we've ever played these pin placements. And I was going through the list of tournaments that Juniper Point's been in. I mean, Juniper Point's been in the game since the very beginning, and Juniper Point holes have been in tournaments, but I think there's only one tournament that we've ever played where every hole was Juniper Point. So when you think about courses that you'd go out and you'd put the effort to make in a second tee, shit, we have a course that we haven't played in very many tournaments. I have a reward available. 3 practice tokens. Look at that. Okay, Rodeo range hole update. I want to let you know we noticed a playability issue on hole number 1 in the Rodeo range tournament on Juniper Point 4, which uses the new hole locations modifier. To remedy this, we will be replacing it with Juniper Point 4 hole 6, meaning that hole 1 and hole 6 of the Rodeo range tournament will be the same. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience that this may cause. Any golfer that logs in between 10 a.m. BTS blah 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 will receive 3 practice tokens. Thank you for your understanding. Hey, thanks for the practice tokens. Still think we should have got some practice tokens for the 3 or 4 hours that the game was down on these, that you should have made a really big deal about it and gave everybody some special deal. That shit is good. You go, somebody at the home office is going, yeah, but if we gave everybody 10 balls and they didn't have to pay for them, it's going to break the world. Aliens will be coming down. What happens is that 90% of that shit gets spent within the first day. People just go out there and start playing with it because they got some extra stuff, and it creates excitement. And people go, wow, that's what that ball looks like. And maybe it encourages them to buy a pack. And it's not going to break the game for you guys to give us some stuff throughout the year. Like, be nice to us. Quit giving us the stick all the time. And you show us the carrot, but we constantly get the stick. Thank you for the 3 practice tokens, though. I appreciate it. So we have no idea where the pins are going to be, and I don't think we can practice it yet. Can we practice it yet? We can. We can. We can. We can. Do I have any practice tokens in this account? I might have to switch accounts just to get some practice tokens. Oh, I do have some. I do. Practice. Now, let's get some shit ready here. Let's let's act like we're actually going to play here. And let's get my test grid up. Let's get the old test pattern running. Make sure I have everything there. Let's go to, I think this American Classic tournament is the only one that we've ever played. Juniper Point. And I'm not sure if the holes are going to be in the same place, so we'll have to see. No idea. No idea. Now, this one is really not going to matter. And this hole is not really going to matter because, like, trying to go for the hole-in-one or trying to line up for it, this hole has actually been redesigned in several different ways. Like, originally, this was, like, I think a couple sections. And these trees were a lot bigger through here. And the green seemed like before, because the green kind of goes like this and the flagpole's in the middle of the hill, and then it bowls up down at the bottom down here. So it kind of comes in and goes like this on the backside. It is possible to get over here and shoot over. I've done it. The very first time I ever got on this hole, I overshot and ended up in the water over there. But typically, if you come in there, you're going to come up and you'll get caught up in here if you overshoot it. There's a bunch of different ways to go at this hole, and I really honestly don't think that the pin placement's going to matter. I will say that on this green, that if they put the pin up here at the top, it's going to fucking matter. Because if you're up here on the top, you can't make the putt down to the bottom, even though it's downhill. There can be some overpowered stuff here because this is an old green, it's big. And so if they put the pin up at the top, everything washes out at the bottom. You won't be able to make those putts. So I'll be curious to see. I think they're just going to put it somewhere like off to the side down here at the bottom, and it's not going to make any difference. All right. If you have low level stuff, you can thread the needle and get right there. And that's not a bad area because you're taking the sand out of play and you're coming at the cup, and so you're coming in on the hill and then it's coming down to the green here, and this, you do have to kind of thread the needle when you're coming through here. You're going to have a bounce that's like right in this area, and you pretty much have to hit it perfect. If you don't hit perfect all the time, hit it out here. This, however, will more than likely put the sand into play, and you'll have to contend with the sand where you'll have to come around it from the left. Now, if you have mid-level or you've got lower level stuff and you bring out the right ball, and if you have upper developed stuff for sure, there's two ways that you can go at the green. They've opened this corner up, and the opportunity to get up into this area right here with the bigger power ball and then just drive it over is now like, that's the deal. But depending on your clubs, you may have to bring out a bigger ball in order to get far enough forward to get it. And I'm not so sure that if you brought out a power 5 ball and you had a lot of topspin, that you might not be able to do it without doing any overpower or little. There's a shot from over here that comes around to the cup and comes around this way, and you can do it. It's a max overpower hook, and you can do it with a marlin. And I will have to remember, you'll have to go out there and try this with your clubs, because I think, like, distance-wise, every club's going to be a little bit different. And I think in the past, the way that it's been is like the wind was like to 2.5 or possibly 3 miles an hour, and the wind was a due headwind. I'd shoot this with the marlin, but if it got over 3 or above, or 2.5 or above, there's a spot right in there. I'd switch it to a Quasar or Navigator, just to push my red line a little bit farther forward to fight up against a headwind. And I believe, if you take your ball guide, this will be a good place to start. I think if you take your ball guide, and we'll go out there and try it out, that if you take your center ring, that's the split ring, there's one ring, there's 2 rings. I think if you take the outside of your first ring and put it right on that transitional line, max topspin, depending on your club, like if you got mid, lower level clubs, it's definitely going to be max topspin. You might have to bring out, you know, if you could do it with a power 1 ball. So if you had a power 1 ball that had, and you can do it with a marlin, so you don't need a lot of side spin and all that stuff. But topspin, you will need all the topspin you have. If you have upper developed stuff, you might be able to take a little topspin off. And there's a max overpower hook so that you take from here. First bounce lands here, and then it goes straight across for the deal. Perfecto. What's up, baby? All right, let's see. I got to get back in here. Of course, the game restarted. It's like, what, were you gone for like 15 or 20 minutes? Let's see what the deal is. Let's see if we can rodeo range. Let's make sure. Let's go through. We'll go through and practice them all. I'll have to come back through here and practice them in pro. Practice. Hole number 1. Hole number 1. Is that the right hole? Is that the hole we're looking at right here? That is not the right hole. What the fuck is going on with this? What hole are we looking at here? Boys and girls. Oh yeah, one and whatever were going to be the same. So like this hole right here might have had an error on it, which is too bad, because I love this hole. And what I love about this hole is that it's in the lower tiers, and when you're down here, you can do the max overpower hook shot with a Marlin with like a level 5, level 4, level 5 extra mile. You can start doing it, and this is just such a great hole to have in the game, because it's one of those holes that you can really have fun on. And it's definitely, when it's in a tournament, it's a par 4 that if you don't get an eagle on it, you drop the shot, because there's going to be way too many people at the top of the bracket that are going to get this both times through. Let's go look at what hole number, I think, so they're saying that was hole number 4. Is that what they're doing? Hold on. Even here it's all jacked up. Hole 4, Juniper Point. Maybe that Juniper Point. I'll tell you what. Let's quit doing this. And let's go to the tried and true Golf Clash notebook. If I can spell today, H-I-J-K, Juniper Point. All right, Juniper Point, hole number 1. Yeah, that's the hole. So they were saying hole number 1 and hole number... Which holes were they saying that they were going to make the same? Are you prepared, dude? Did you do any research before you started shooting video? Hole 1 update. We wanted to let you know we've noticed a playable issue with hole number 1 in the range on Juniper Point 4, which is... to remedy this, we are replacing with hole number Juniper Point 4, hole 6. So they're going to replace it with hole number 6. Okay, that explains why it looks like that. All right. Now, see, we went and read the thing, and then we actually had to apply it. That's too bad, because I really like that hole. I do. Is that? I still don't think I'm looking at the right fucking hole. That's still not the hole we were looking at. We'll go out here and see what the deal is. See what we can see. What hole? I'm looking at this little picture right here, and this picture is doing nothing for me. Nothing. And now you put the trees in it, and now you look at the 2 sand traps down there, it's the duh, dude, that's this hole. That's the hole you looked at. But when you take the trees off of it, the hole looks so different. Now there is a way that you can sneak around that corner, but I'm not so sure that it's, what the fuck was that? What was that? Now you can come out here with just like a shit. I think you could probably just use a katana if you've got upper developed stuff. And you can way overshoot it. Shit, you can try and get up on the green, but you can see where it's hitting that tree right there. There really isn't enough room. You got to thread the needle through here. And it's freaking narrow. .28. It's 1.5 per ring. I'm going to do 2 rings. And I'm going to lean slightly. Hitting it perfect. See if I can thread that little needle underneath of the tree and not clip it right there. And I clipped it. I usually don't like to, I see people do that all the time where they thread that needle and they get up on the green. But I usually end up right in front of the sand trap. And you have a really beautiful shot from there. Beautiful shot. Beautiful. I'll chip the ball over there so we can see what it looks like. Those fucking signs are in play. Everybody, every single person out there and every single one of you needs to bitch to everybody in your clan to play Demic that they need to make those signs so that they're not in play. It's bullshit that they're in play. If we were on a regular course, those are not permanent objects. We could get relief on those, but we're not going to get relief on sending them a message saying, hey, I'm caught behind a sign on hole number 3. Can you come and send somebody over here to move it? That's just not going to happen. They can very easily make them so that they're in the game, but they're not in play. Let's play that hole again. Let's play that hole one more time. And I'm just going to shoot it straight forward into the spot down there. The thing about this green, they've redesigned this hole. The beginning part of the hole is pretty close to what it was originally. They have kind of thinned those trees out a little bit, and there is the opportunity to hit through those trees and come out the other side, but when the game first came out, those trees were a thicket. You weren't hitting through them. You hit those trees, you were ending up in the sand or caught behind the tree, or you were screwed up. But the green here is totally different. When the game first came out, if you got onto the green on the very low end, you couldn't hit up the hill, and you had to hit off the green. You couldn't make it. You'd go up to the top and then it'd roll it right back down to where you were at. You couldn't make it up there. So you didn't want to get on the green, and you couldn't get to the high part of the green. If you can weasel your ball through there, that pin placement is on a track for a hole-in-one. So we do have, and I really don't think that I want to weasel myself up in there. I just want to get around, I just want to get past the thing out in the clear up by the sand. Yup. You did all that for that, and all you had to do is hit it straight forward. Come on, man. Number 2 bag. Let's get the old number 2. Let's pull back to the +2 mark. I don't think I need all that toss. 4 max. And I'm at the +1 mark. 2.3. I'm going to do 2.5. Just try and hit it perfect. Weasel your way through there. There are other ways that you can go at this hole. I just have not had any consistency with them. And this shot right here, I mean, it's definitely one shot at a time, but if you can put yourself right there, you're in the catbird seat. If the game was right from that spot right there, we'd be taking off 10%. And I'm not so sure that we don't take off 10%. And that's got to be wedge range. Gots to be. Here we go. Kingfisher. Max wedge. I don't like that appearing and disappearing wedge. So I'm going to go minimum Kingfisher, which is 1.9, or excuse me, 2.1. 3.2 divided by 2.1. 1.4 rings. 3 backspin. Get right up on the hole. 1.4 rings. 1.4? That might have been 1.45. Hitting it perfect. Into hole, and I took off 10% there. It was 0.9 times the wind wherever I was at in my club. Straight up. That's a money shot down there. I mean, you got to hit it perfect. But the thing is, if I'd have brought out a power 3 ball, I could have used my rapier instead of my Kingfisher. And you could probably, if you wanted to use your Kingfisher and be down in that spot, just to give yourself room on wind days when the wind is blowing like this, to bring out a quasar. Quasar will kind of help you navigate that drive. And I had pulled back so we could easily use a lower power ball there. That is a money shot going in there, so if you've got a lower power ball that's got precision and stuff, that's definitely a place to bring it. Definitely, definitely. All right, and we're going to get to play that hole twice. So we got a serious opportunity to get an eagle twice in a round. For sure, for sure. All right, hole number 2. Hole number 2. Yeah, and let's go back and look at that hole one more time here. Was that the hole? Yeah, this green used to be about this big, and it had a plateau. It ran up, and then it came up the thing, and then it came up. And if you were on the lower part down here trying to get it up this hill, you couldn't putt it even max overpower. You put it up to here, and then it wouldn't get there, and then it would just roll back down and just roll right back down to where you're at. The only choice you had was to hit it off the green so you could take a chip and get it up on the upper level. So you never wanted to reach the green, which I did several times, and it was painful. 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 All right, hole number 2. Hole number 2. This hole has been redesigned so many times that I couldn't tell you anymore. So this whole area down here has changed. There is a no move shot here. And I think it's like 1 backspin, 1 right hand side spin, or it's very, very little adjustment with the no move. And I'm going to do whatever that is. I'm going to work on that. So there's a lot of different ways that you can attack this hole. I found a way, and I think it was like plus 15%, where you can come down and this is all rolling down the hill and this is flat. And there's a, here, right here is the joint where it's going from the downhill onto the flat, and so this is that transition. And what I want to do is ride right along this side of it. So you can get up really close where you can put on like 1 or 2 left-hand side spin, and you can straighten your ball guide out and go right straight to the cup. And there is a really nice shot right there. However, if the wind, if you're doing this shot coming straight at it, if the wind is blowing from this direction and you have to involve this sand, it destroys this shot. Because that sand like totally messes, it creates total havoc with it. So there's a big range of wind directions that we can't work out with this shot. And I practiced this all weekend. We had it dialed in. There were several teammates that were working on this, and I mean, we was like hole in one, hole in one, hole in one, hole in one, and then that week all the wind was coming from this direction, and it ruined like our total shot setup. So we went to the no move. We changed around, but it's hard to find a spot out here. I'm just going to go with the no move and figure out what the spin needs to be. And the no move also puts you way out in the middle, so no matter which way the wind's blowing, you should have opportunity to get it. It's almost everything's going to funnel down to the cup and be close, but we can work out our trajectory. I think. Let's go practice it. Let's go practice hole number 2. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to do the 15%, although it's probably just a 10. It feels like it's a 10 plus something, like plus 0.1 or... We'll start at 15 and go from there. Take that. As Dunner would say, you're not the boss of me. I haven't talked to Dunner in the last few days. He sold his house and he's a transient now. He's homeless. And he went back to work, and of course all of the shit happens and you don't have a home base, and it's I have no idea where I'm at in my club. So I'm going to use 1 per ring. And that's 425, and we got a new pin placement here, so I have no idea. So this probably isn't going to work unless I brought out a ball that had more side spin. You're going to have to get down. You're going to have... I mean, that's 3 side spin right there. Man. I suppose you could hit it from back here. And where are we at in our club? We're at min there. There's max, so we're like, there's mid. I can fix that a little bit by swapping out the ball, but I'd need something with 3 side spin. I don't think 2 will be enough. The only other way is to get on the green side and go at it. What are you doing, dude? You're doing max overpower on a par 3. No setup. I must be playing a replay. Must be. It is bold. Did they change the green again? Look at how many more moguls are on this green and how much more movement's on it. Okay, there's max with a power 2. So, and I don't think if I'm up here I'm going to need as much spin. If I'm on this side, it gives me a little bit of room. I can go white ring off. Do I have enough backspin? No. What do I have in long iron that's got more backspin than the Grizzly Goliath? Still doesn't have enough backspin. I could use a Grim Reaper if I wanted to hit it on that side, or I'd have to hit it off to the side, bring it around. Man, I really don't like our options at all on this. I could bring out a low power ball and come up here with my Guardian. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring out a Marlin and go at it with my Guardian. Definitely playing a replay. Definitely. Now if I wanted to play that with my long iron, I'd have to use the Grim Reaper. Let's go look at my club options now that we've seen where the pin's at. And see what our options are. Grim Reaper's got 100% backspin, and it's got 3/8 ball guide, so it's not too bad. And I don't think I have anything that's... The Saturn's got 92, and it's also got 3/9 ball guide, so in that situation I might as well go with the 100. Alright, both 3/9? Oh, 3/8, 3/9. Who's gonna count that last one? Nada. Tsunami at some point will get backspin. and no ball guide. That's it. So I'm going to take the Grim Reaper. Let's pick a utility bag here. Let's make sure I bring the Guardian. And I'm going to bring a Grim Reaper. Let's make sure I have numbers for the Guardian. And I got numbers for the Grim Reaper. And if I'm in my Grim Reaper, I'm going to be at max. If I'm in my Guardian, I'm going to be at min. We'll see how it goes with the Grim Reaper. We'll try it there. We'll try it, and I'm going to stick with the Katana. I think that gave me room. If I wanted to switch to the wood, I'd have to go to a power 1 or a power 0 ball. Let's practice. Let's practice hole number 2 one more time. Let's practice it. This time we're prepared. I'd really like to find an opponent that wants to fucking practice. Now, I'm getting replays, but obviously from the way they're shooting, it's a replay. But if you're out there practicing someday and you find somebody else who's out there practicing, practice. JC, welcome to the channel. Wonder how many times people join our clan stuff from people playing your replay, because I get people that tell me they've played my replay. Okay, so there's Max Club with a power 2 ball. And there's Max backspin, so I can definitely get up in there. So let's switch that to power 3 ball and see if I have enough room. No. So let's switch that to power 1 ball. And I'm in my Guardian. Now I've got, do I have room? Not really. I don't have room to work out the wind. I could drive it up there like that. Where that red line's out, if I want to use the Grim Reaper, I'd have to bring out like a 4 power ball if I wanted to do, I don't have to do max backspin. And I could come down over there and let it wash out into the bowl. Was that a no move shot? With a 4 side spin ball. Alright, I looked at the backspin, now let's look at the side spin. Because there is a bowl there. If you can catch that, you're going to get washed out down into that area. What I'd need here is something along the lines of this, where you have lots of side spin. And you can get it to go down to the cup. That's 2 backspin and max side spin. And see if it'll roll down that deal and get close enough to it. But you'd have to have at least 4 side spin. And I really don't want to waste any of those 4 side spin balls. That is what you could do right there. Unfortunately, my opponent went. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright. Let's practice it one more time. I think I'm going to take a shot this time. I think I have it figured out. I think I like the shot with the spin better, but I'm going to try it with a katana and see. We'll see what we can do with the katana, and we're going to take the shot no matter what. but we can at least start there and see what we can get done with a 3 side spin ball. I think the power will be fine. And we're gonna switch to a grizzly. All right. Oh. Practice now. Let's make sure we're in Ricky and we're on hole number 2. Jeez. All right. One more time. One more time. And I'm going to add on 15% wherever I'm at in my club. And we'll just see how it rolls out. I think if you get down in there that it's actually going to roll out, like it looks like you're going to stop up at the top where your ball guide stopped, but I think once it gets on that hill, it is going to roll out a little. Even if you put on like 1 or 2 backspin, it's still going to roll out. Like it might whoa it up and then it just glides down the hill, but I think it will roll out to the bottom. We'll see. We'll see right here, right now. Now, I had that on there before, but that was with the 5. And you see where it's starting to bend. I think the 3 will be fine. The 4, that puts me 5 rings off. 2.2, and where am I at in my club? There's max, and I'm at max. 2.53 rings divided by 0.9. It's 2.81. Man, I'm not even close. I'll let it go by. I got my equation now. I got 1.15 times whatever the wind is divided by 0.9 plus 0.1. Grizzly 0.9. And that was, I'm not sure what the spin was on it. I'm going to be 5 rings off up here. And that's on the high side of the cup. 3.647. And there's 4, 5, 6, 7. Isn't it perfect? And it almost rolled out down there at the end. That's not, which way was the wind blowing there? The wind was blowing across. I needed to pull it just a titch more. I did 15% plus 0.1 at 0.9, so maybe a 20 or plus 0.2. Let's see what a 20 would have done. Instead of 4.7, a 20 would have been 4.9. So that would have been plus 0.3 on the original deal, so probably 20% plus 0.1. There we go. There we have, I have a game plan for that. I know how much spin. I can go back and watch this and I can see how much spin I put on there. And we got it. Hole number 3. Hole number 3. Then we can start working on, goal number 1 is to figure out what clubs you're going to bring on a hole. And this hole right here has Albi written all over it. And I am pretty sure it's plus 10 to the cup. It might be minus 10, but it's one of those two. I'm pretty sure. It is like, it is money. I think it's plus 10 to the cup. And this has been in a community cup, and if you didn't get an Albie on this hole, like I got 5 out of 6 Albies in the weekend round in that tournament, and this was one of the holes that was in there, and you have to get an Albion in. Where you want to get, and I'm not sure where the green's at or where the pin's at, and it really won't matter as far as we're concerned, as far as our landing spot out here. For the premium landing spot, you want to get right up into this spot right here so you can go straight at it. And getting around the bend, if you've got lower developed stuff, even if you bring out a bigger ball, you know, you're looking at laying it up in this area. This area is probably, for a lot of people, just getting over and being on this side right here is, if you've got lower developed stuff, this is about where you can get. Now, if you bring out bigger stuff, the deal is you need to curl around this thing in order to clear out into here. And if you've got lower developed stuff, you won't have the curl to get you out there. So you're pretty much stuck like laying it up somewhere out in this area. The closer you can be to this edge down here at the bottom, the better, because what that does is on the second shot, it clears you. You draw a line past those trees coming out here. So if you're on this side of the line, when you're going to the cup, you'll have to bring it around those trees. You'll have to have side spin. So if you've got lower developed stuff, you can help yourself out by bringing out a ball that's got more side spin for the second shot. You will probably find yourself a lot of times in a situation, if you've got lower developed stuff, where you're bouncing off from here and bridging the gap and then running it up. And if they've moved the flagpole back, this is another one of these old greens that you do not want to have a long putt, because it could be overpowered very quickly. So you want to make sure, if you can't get all the way to the green, lay it up in the front so that you can chip it over. But if you can get all the way to here, if you've got the club or the ball combo, that'll get you all the way to this spot so that you can clear. Your red line's going to be with a bigger power ball, like somewhere up in this area, and you're trying to get it to come around. You can do this with a power 3 ball, but depending on if you've got a headwind day, you may have to up your ball game. And depending on the curl of your clubs, you may have to have a... It's a catch-22. You want the toss spin to get you up there, but you want the side spin to get you around the deal. I'm going to bring my APOC. My APOC! And a Kingmaker. Kingmaker. I think that's what I'm going to bring. That is what I'm going to bring. Kingmaker. I will tell you that you can get down there if you've got the right clubs. You can get down there with, you know, a smaller ball, but you really need a ball that's got 3 side spins. It will help in every way, shape, or form, and the bigger ball will help put you in a better spot on the second shot if you get to the right area. Hole number 3. Hole number 3. I think it's 10% to the cup. I think, but I could be wrong. It might be. I think it is 10%. I'm going to go with 10%. And we'll see. And if I get there and I go, shit, I should have taken off 10%, we'll know. We will, if I can ever find an opponent. Thank you, Denny. From Russia, team number 1. And that wind is the worst wind we could possibly get. Obviously, it's absolutely due headwind. If we can put ourselves in the right spot, man, I can't believe they didn't clip the tree. That is going to be a very common landing area for a lot of people. They get up there and they didn't have enough spin to get around the deal. I'm going to go 3 rings off on the left-hand side. I think I can, fuck, I don't know if I can overshoot this. I'm going to go 1 less than max topspin. 3 rings off. And I feel like I should go 2 rings off. I'm going to go 2 rings off. 2.6. It's 1.5 per ring. I'm going to do 2 rings. That's 3. One ring grade on the inside is not going to kill me. The shot's either going to work out or it wasn't going to work out. And it'll all be about the length down here. And I could have put the topspin on. I did have room. It looked like it was going to go farther than it did. Yeah, that one topspin getting me up. If you've got an extra mile works really well here, especially if you've got I think if you run all of it, if you got a maxed out extra mile, if you run all the topspin, you can only get on like 1.5, maybe 2 side spin. You got to be real. You got to take that shot a couple times, and because you're going to be threading the needle if you're using an extra mile with the curl that it has. For those of you lucky bastards that have a APOC 7, that will be a bitchin' hole for you. 3.5 divided by, where am I at in my club? Let's get, I am at max club. So 1.1, 3.6 rings, 2 backspin. Here's the red line. I got plenty of room. 3.6 rings. There's 3, 5, 3, 6. Oh, and I ran out of time. Oh! It's too bad. All right, we'll take it again. No, well, we won't be able to. My opponent's going to get in the hole and screw us. Is that right? No. I might have one more shot. Do I have one more shot? Do I have? Do I? I do. Excellent. Excellent. 3.3. 3.4 rings. 2 backspin. No side spin. Go right at it. Make sure I'm through the cup. 3.4 rings. And there's 1, 2, 3. There's the 4. Oh, and then I fucking hit it great. Oh! Oh, that's in the hole right there. Right there. That was plus 10%, plus 0.1. I am telling you, that is like there. That is a huge Albie hole right there. We have got to get an Albie on that hole. And we can get ourselves up into that spot. You can see what it takes to get up there. Hole number 4. Hole number 4. Alright, I have gone at this hole several different ways over the years, and we're going to have to see where the pin is, because I'm not sure where the pin placement is on it. I have tried going off of this island coming at it, and I have tried coming off of, there's a spot right here, and coming at it with a Guardian with backspin. You can do it with a sniper, but a Guardian right here gives you a little more control because you got more backspin. There's a flat area right here in front. I think there is a rough bump that you can do on this too. It's more of an eye rough bump. There's a lot of different ways that we can go at it, but let's go look at it, because this has never been a really, I have made hole-in-ones on this hole, but they're the exceptions rather than the rules. And I probably, you know, over the years playing this hole, I have made several hole-in-ones on it, but I can't say that I did for a short while in one tournament play off the island and had a little bit of success off the island. And I don't normally like to take those shots because the hill face is like this. So if you hit a little high, it goes that way, and if you hit a little low, it goes that way, and you can get off trajectory really quick. But for some reason it was coming out right. We'll see. We'll see what clubs it takes. We go out there, we're just practicing, so we don't have to get in a hurry. We're not going to lose anything. Nobody's going to win anything. That pin placement. You see there is a rough bump that's right here, and it's that eye rough bump with a 3 power ball. I'm right at my red line. Let's see where I'm at with the quasar. Okay, there's min. Let's get where I can see what I'm doing here. There's max. Right at the back of the green. There's min, so I'm at mid club right here. If you're trying to do backspin, you're not going to get it done with the sniper. And man, that fucking rough bump is off the side of a hill. This wind works okay for it. It'd be better. No, I don't know if it'd be better to take this anywhere in here. It's a pretty tight little rough bump. A lot of shit can go wrong when you're hitting a rough bump off a hill face like that, because once again, if you hit a little high, you're going to go farther forward. If you hit a little low, so in this situation, if you hit a little bit to the right, it's not only going to bounce flat, but it's going to bounce to the right. And you can get shit like that where you can end up in the rough because you put the rough into play. I like rough bumps, but that's not my... not the one I particularly like. I'm right at my red line right here with I kind of like to take this with a sniper, or excuse me, a grizzly, and we can push our red line forward with a katana. No, we need a power 0 ball. Oh, where am I in? That's where my red line is, so I'd have to bring out a freaking Titan. The king of balls. A Titan. Shit, I'd have to bring out a power 4 ball if I wanted to get my... just to have enough room on the red line on headwind days so I could get into this zone right here. Do I even have enough side spin? I do have enough side spin. It's almost like if you want to hit... and you can see on this island down here towards the bottom of it, on the bottom part of the island, it kind of rolls up where it's kind of flat, and then it rolls up the island, and there's a flat area on this bottom section, and I really want to hit off of that flat area and not hit up here. Man, I hate to bring out a power 4 ball just for that. Okay, let's practice that one more time. I think I am going to hit off the island. Why not? Why not? I could... Let's try that one more time. Let's try that one more time. Hole number 4. Let's practice. We got shit tons of practice tokens. What is the deal? I have practice tokens in this account. That's unusual. Usually I have to buy something in order to get practice tokens. Let's go use them. Let's use them up. It really does surprise me when I see people out there in one-on-one and they're playing with really good stuff. And especially in lower tours where that ball is not... if the ball's making it so that you can get on in one instead of taking 2, or you can achieve that, you know, because it's not going to help you. You still have to hit perfect on the chip shot or the short one that's coming in, or you still have to do whatever work needs to be done. But if you can get on where all you have to do is putt, and you bring out a bigger ball, you know. But when you're talking about the lower tours where the prizes are small and you know how many gems you win and how much stuff you get, you know, is so low that it's just... if you ever plan on playing in tournaments, I guarantee you're going to get into a tournament where you're going to go on some weekend round. Fuck, man, I wish I had a 4-power precision ball or a 4-power 5 side spin ball. And you can think back to that time you bought that $20 pack and you wasted them all playing Tour 3. I'd love to have those back. Okay, with the Goliath on there, I'm going to switch to I'll switch to a Marlin, and I'm with my sniper. Where's the red line? So if I start off right there, I'm 5 rings away from the red line. I'm going to start off my blue ring off on the left. If I have enough spin, and I don't, So if I had a 2 side spin ball, it would work. But look, I'm pushing down and my ball guide's going up. I'm pushing up and my ball guide's not going towards the cup. So there's got to be a spot here where it's rolling off. Like I can't get it any closer. I need more side spin than a 1 side spin ball. I need a Power Zero multi side spin ball is what I need. I'll have to try it with Quasar. I will, and it's going to be difficult with this wind. Minimum sniper is 1.2. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna add 20%, but I'm gonna do 1.2. So I'm gonna do whatever. I'm just gonna play it 1 to 1 plus 0.1. Okay, there's the minimum. Oh, the minimum's gonna change here in just a second. I am right at the minimum. It's a little high. So 4.5, 4.6 rings. Let's see if I can get somewhat lined up with the wind. 4.6 rings. Getting it perfect. We should get a good read there. I added on 20%. I was at minimum club, and I needed to add on, like, I needed to do 1 to 1 plus 10%. I added on 20, and at minimum club it's 1.2. So 1.2 times the wind divided by 1.2. So the 1.2s balance each other out. So it was just 1 to 1, and I added on plus 0.1. So the next time I play it, I'm going to play 1 to 1 plus 10%. We'll see. We'll see. I'll have to go back and see what kind of spin I used right there. What I didn't like about that shot, there's several things I didn't like about that shot. The first thing I didn't like about that shot is I didn't like how close I was having to get down in here. I really wanted to stay in the center. And with the Power 2 ball, my red line was right there, or Power 1 ball. So this is definitely a spot for one of those low wind Power Zero balls that's got more than 2 side spin. Then I could stay in the center of the island and I could put 3 side spin on it and bring it back around. Try and ride more along the bottom of the ridge, or the where it's rolling down. And I really don't want to use one of those balls until the weekend round, which is kind of difficult because you really want to practice with the ball so that you can get the stuff worked out, and then when you go out there you're using exactly the same equipment every time. But I don't have enough of those low wind balls to play it every time. That's the deal. I bought a small pack of them, and then they're like the weekend round balls. Damn it. Hole number 5. Hole number 5. All right. Now, the pin placement in the past has sucked. So this green has a ridge that runs on it, like right in here, and everything kind of flows down into this, and there's a flat spot up here at the top, and the pin has been like, here's the spot where it rolls down, and it's all rolling down, and the pin is like right there next to that. So if you're coming at it from this angle, you got to come up this, and it wants to make the ball run like this, and you tend to get up to the cup and it just runs off. Or you blow past the break where it's making you roll off to in that direction, and it just goes straight. And if you're coming from this direction, it's super easy to catch it, and then you just roll down the hill. It's in a pretty difficult pin placement. I'm wondering if they moved it over, if they moved it up. I'll be curious to see what they did on this, or if they left it up there on that flat and tucked it even farther back in the corner. Now, there's a bunch of ways to play this to get on the green, and I don't really care where they put the flag. Like trying to get up to the green, you can lay it up over in here. And what cracks me up about this, I see a lot of people succeed on it, and I see a lot of people fail on it. But most of the people that fail on it, they're using an extra mile. And they got an extra mile 8 or an extra mile 9. So if they got an extra mile 8 or an extra mile 9, they got a freaking quarterback 8, 9, 10. They got a rock 6, 7, 8. They got a club that's super accurate that has good ball guide that they can run it over here. And you can easily do this with a 3 power ball and a quarterback. And it'll put you in the same spot as your extra mile, and it's a shit ton more accurate. So if you do hit it great to the left or the right, you know, it's only 1 mile an hour versus 2 or 2.4 or 2.1 or whatever. So there is a shot here, and then depending on where they put the cup, like I never really liked this because you were having to hit up that hill to get up to the top, and it tended to wash your ball out. And this angle, I have made a few albies from over here, but this isn't, man, I really like the angle better from out here. And getting out here, this is big topper all day and twice on Sundays, because unless you bring out a really big ball or do something strange to try and get over here, and I'm not even sure you can do it, but just postulating that you could bring out a big ball, you're shooting from over here, bridging this gap. And if you've got an extra mile with like a power 3 or power 4 ball, your red line's in here, so you have to pull back from your red line. And anytime you're with your extra mile and you have to pull back from the red line, you're starting to involve the big topper, because the big topper's got more top spin. And so you can come down here, I'm pretty sure, with a 3 power ball and big topper and end up, you know, down in this range, and you got a really nice shot at it. You can get all the way down into this spot. There's a slide out here, and if you can catch the slide, it'll slide your ass all the way to the end. But this is big topper power 3 ball all day. For me, I'm definitely hitting it straight forward. I think that's the way. I think that's the way to go. And do I have a big topper with the sniper? No, I do not. Big topper, bag number 3, sniper. I think if I get in the right spot down there, I'm actually hitting this with my grizzly. I think that is the bag right there. And I'm going to take a power 3 ball. I don't think I need anything more than a power 3 ball. And I'm not sure where the pin's at, so I'm going to bring 3 side spin just in case. But you could probably easily do this with a tight. Hole number 5. Hole number 5. Hole number 5. Not 4. Not 3. If you've gone to 6, you've gone too far. Alright, what are we doing? We're going to come down into this area. You can see how far it is down in there. Like I'm like at the red line, I'm blue ring off. We want all of the top spin. We brought this club and this stuff just for that reason. And that little teeny bit of side spin is definitely going the right direction. I can go forward just a bit. It's 1 ring. I'm gonna rub the nubs. I'm gonna get fresh with it. Hitting it perfect, and it will carry in that pocket. So if you get out there with a tailwind, it will carry quite a bit, and it is super easy to overshoot that. So on headwind days, I would definitely recommend going into the practice and practicing it and seeing what it takes to set that drive up, so that you don't overshoot it and clip the rough right down here. Because if you clip the rough right down here, you're in big trouble if you're right there. If your first bounce ends up in the rough, you're in big trouble. Big. Put your hands apart. Big trouble. My opponent, however, brought a smaller ball and did the same thing, and they're in the same exact spot as me. I do like this pin placement a lot better. And I'm pretty sure there's max. There's min, there's mid. And I do it from mid club and just kind of guide it down there to it. Let's put on one backspin. Okay, what do I got on right there? I got one backspin. I'm about 7 rings away from the rough. One backspin. Okay, 1.1 times whatever the wind is, divided by, I'm eking mid. I'm kind of right in front of mid. It's 0.9, it's 1.1 at mid. I'm probably more towards the 1 range, just the 1 per ring. I'm going to try it just at 0. I'm just going to do it wherever I'm at in my club plus 0.1. So we can get a read. Just get a read to see if we need to add or take anything off or what the deal is. Just straight up. The wind divided by 1. There's max. I'm eking max. Let's put 5 rings off at the plus 4 mark. Five rings off at the plus 4 mark. 2 miles an hour, it's 2.1 rings. Oh, fuck. Oh, I hate it when that happens. We will never know, but that perfect would have been super close. And that was just straight up the wind divided by 1 plus 0.1. Going at it. All right. All right. Be that way. I think we have a game plan for that. The cool thing about going out and recording your own video when you do a practice run is you can go back just like me when I get done. I can watch this and I can bring out a piece of paper and I can start making notes. And I really have a lot of info like on what the deal is for the hole. Okay, hole number 6 is the same as the one we played before, so I'm not going to play that one again. Go back and rewind to the beginning of the video. Hole number 7. Hole number 7. What is? What is hole number 7? We're in the final 3 here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. This is another one of those holes that we just got done with the tournament that has a hole that's shaped very much like this. Although the terrain is totally different, it's shaped very much like this. That's one of the best opportunities for hole in one in the game, and this is another one of those holes that is like one of the best. And there's several different ways that we can do it depending on where the pin is. So if they put the pin over here, there is a rough bump that you can do, and if they put the pin anywhere closer on that side, they just enhance that rough bump. If they put it over here, we haven't been able to do a rough bump off this because the pin's been kind of in the center and it's a little bit more, this is a little bit closer to it. But it might open up something on this side, who knows? Or did they just keep it in the middle and we just have a slightly different trajectory? I'm not sure. I am not sure. I'm going to take off 10%. Now, there is one thing about this hole that I will tell you, that this terrain down here looks like this. So we got the sand down here, and it's the sand, and then it comes up through the bowl, this bowl area, and then it comes up, and then it crests, and then it comes up on the green. And so you can get caught up on this green where it'll roll it down, but you would think that it would just roll it down you all the way to the bottom, but it'll stick you up somewhere up here. You might roll off, but you're going to be up here or still on the green and have a long ass putt. So we don't want to get caught in the front. And if you hit any of your bounces where you're coming from the bottom and then it's coming up to the hill and then it's coming up to the green, if you hit any of your bounces on this hill, they can start doing this straight up where you've just lost forward momentum to get you to the cup, and now you've spent your momentum going up, and then it hits again and it goes up, and then that's what gets you caught on the hill. That what I want to do is I want to get one bounce down here at the bottom, and I want to get my second bounce all the way up here at the top, or super close to it, so that I can avoid this hill altogether. So what I like to do here is I'll wedge my white rings up with my sniper so that I'm equal distance and I'm dead center in the middle, and it puts me right at the bottom of that trough so that I can get bounce number one, bounce number two, and then I'm running to the cup and I avoid this hill altogether. I would highly recommend that you try and do that anytime you're playing the game and you see this type of deal, is hit at the bottom and try and jump over the hill and skip it. Let's skip that stuff. All right. I'm just saying, that's just me talking out loud. I'm just saying, I don't think we need anything special here. I think we can actually do this with Marlin, but I'm going to take a navigator just to be different. We'll try it out. Hole number 7. This is going to be a wild ass low scoring tournament from what I've seen so far. I mean, we have one hole that we almost have to get an Albie on. The par 3s here are definitely hole-in-oneable. The par 4s are definitely... It's too bad that hole number 1 didn't make it, because hole number 1 is an awesome hole. That's what works for us. See how my opponent's hitting in the middle of the hill? Now watch. Watch how the bounce goes when it hits right there. Let's see if I'm correct. See how high that went, and they lost all that forward energy, and then they got... And it'll just keep rolling now. Now it's back in the deal. It'll just keep rolling. That first bounce lost all that energy, and what you want is you want that first bounce up there on the green to be still rolling forward so that it keeps pushing you forward towards the cup, and avoid that loss of energy. 0.9 times 3.6 divided by 1. 3.24 plus 0.1, 3.35. I want to be, wow. They have changed this. This used to be flat. Now you can see it's humped. There's a spot right there. Definitely need a bigger side spin ball if I wanted to use that as my starting spot. Let's see if I switch to a katana. Can I make it over there? I can. Now I have a little bit of throw. Wow, that's a difficult spot if I wanted to start off right there. Where am I at in my club? We'll try that. I may have to play it like I don't like to play it. I do not like playing off those hill faces, because you can get... The deal is that the ball guide is trying to tell you like what's going to happen, but when the ball actually hits out there, if it hit a little bit to the left or the right of where you had it set up, then the ball's going to respond totally different than your ball guide. And those are tough areas for your ball guides. Like, yeah, I mean, if everything's perfect and you were in this particular spot, then you're all good to go. Can I get a... What am I looking like if I'm at the top? If I'm at the top up here, should I thought I saw a little tail. I did. I don't know if I like that pin placement. It's 2 and 2 right there. And I am not quite to the cup. Now I am. Out of time. Out of time. Okay, we'll practice it one more time. Man, I really don't like that pin placement. That pin placement blows. Let's go see one more time. Let's go see hole number, is that hole number 6? No, that's hole number 7. Hole number 7. Hole number 7. Let's see if there is a rough bump over there. Let's see. I didn't like how close I was getting to my red line there, I can tell you that. And they're doing the rough bump on the other side over there and trying to throw it all the way across. I suppose that is a way. Yeah, I want to see what it looks like from over there. Hey, 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 slow down, bro. Don't get in a hurry. Don't get in a hurry. Don't get in a hurry. You don't have to just rush and take it. And you hit it great. And I'm not sure. I think they're going to end up way in the fucking rough. Like way in the rough. And look at how much undulation is on there. So when your ball first comes in through that rough bump, how much movement it has to make. You almost want it to jump past that section. Let's not fuck around here. Let's move that ball where we have control of it. And I'm not sure, like you're gonna roll off way roll off from the hole if you're in this area. Like right there is the spot. I think you might be able to, but as you tighten it up, you start to get involved with that hump that's right in front of it. Hopefully my opponent will miss their shot. Hopefully they will miss it. But I'm probably playing nothing but replays where they've made it so that people can't come out here and practice. This is why it's really good on the days that Dunner and I can get it hooked up and we're practicing, because we can really come out here and like try and figure this shit out. Any of those videos that we ever post where it's Dunner and I out practicing, those are videos worth watching. Somebody might watch them and go, you guys are just, fuck, what a bunch of shit. Okay, right there. Right there. That's two and a sliver. Where am I at in my club? There's max. There's min. There's max. So I'm right at mid club. So 3.1 be 2.89 rings. .89. There's 1, 2, 9. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if we can at least get the ball up to the level. And see how it jumped forward when it hit the deal, because it had all of its energy still. And it was able to jump forward and then roll out towards the cup. Whereas my opponent, who hit on that hill face, the first bounce went high up in the air and the second bounce died. It didn't get that jump forward because it wasn't launching in that direction. hopefully that illustrates it. We run into that type of terrain a lot in Golf Clash, and there's a lot of these par 3s we're coming into where we can hit at the bottom of the hill and then hit up to the green level and kind of miss that whole hill area, or you got to get really close and backspin it. Alright, this hole is a lot more difficult than it used to be. That pin placement is a lot more difficult. I had 2 topspin, 2 1/4 right hand side spin, and I needed a little bit more topspin, or I needed to run my ball guide. I was afraid when I saw the ball guide where, like, here's the cup and the ball guide was coming through. I had my ball guide. I finally found a spot where my ball guide was terminating at the cup, and the other spots it was terminating like 5 squares behind the cup. And I actually think that that's probably the right one, because that gets me up over that crest. I might actually get up over that crest and the speed's a little, you know, where I have to hit the flagpole. But I think we're gonna have to put it, because the ball guide's getting confused here. It's gone through a bunch of shit up to this point, and it's at the very end, and it's like, man, there's a hump right here, and I'm either over the hump in a mile or I'm short, and I think we need to set it up on the mile long, and I think it'll actually come out right. Maybe. Hole number 8. Hole number 8. What is hole number 8? Oh, I love this hole. We got a great opportunity for an eagle here. Now, you can play this. If you've got lower developed stuff, you're probably going to find yourself playing it along this edge. And I can tell you, getting down here as far as you can, you really want to get here, but you can't. I mean the apex of your shot's here, so you're already curling in here, and you'll end up here if you're trying to get. You can dig up to this corner and kind of cut the corner just a little bit, cut inside at the very end, but it's hard to get any closer than that. And from here you have several different shots. I personally, from experience, if you're down in anywhere in this area and you're trying to take the shot up, there is a shot where you can bring it around this way. I would choose that shot over this rough bump. This rough bump is one of those ones where you have to take the wind out, and then you have to push like a whole ring back in. And if you've got tailwind, you do the wind and then you push a ring back into the wind. It's a weird, if you know how to do this adjustment down here, and it is definitely an adjustment, and it changes depending on which way the wind's blowing. If you know how to do it, it is a nice rough bump, but it's super dangerous. So if you've got low level stuff, the deal is give yourself a shot, but don't risk that rough bump. If you've got upper developed stuff for the right balls, you're going to go, you can use a 3-power or a 4-power ball in this area right here, and you're trying to get where you get bounce number 1, bounce number 2, you bridge the gap, you clip the rough, and you bleed out onto the green. And you're trying to go, what I'm trying to do here is the way your ball guide, let's see if we can get the tee box in the picture so we can draw a line. If we draw a line from the flagpole to the tee box, we're looking at this line, but we don't want to be that close on this, so we're going to have to set our shot up a little bit like that. So we're going to be going off in this angle. So when you're looking at your bounce out here, you have to think about like the way that the terrain is out there. You don't have to hit it as far on the angle that we're going. So your bounce that's out here, which is like your third bounce, is in the clear, but you're going to put on a little bit of curl in order to get the ball to go on this trajectory towards the cup. And over here, when you put that curl on it, now you're clipping the rough. And so I think typically it's either that or I'm facing this direction, and I want my third bounce to be right here in the sand, and when I put the little bit of curl on it, it brings it over and it hits into this pocket. I think that's how it is, but that's what we're looking for. And I have no idea where they put the flagpole on the green, and I really don't care. If they put the flagpole back here, which is what I would have did if I was them, I would have put it in the back area so that it opens up this shot, and you got a really good shot if you just hit it straight forward. But from here, typically you will end up in this area or right off the rough down here, and you still got a little bit of work to do. Let's see where they put it. Let's see, or let's make sure I got my stuff set up. I'm on hole number 8. I'm going to take my number 5 bag, and I'm going to take a Titan, the king of balls. That's right, you heard me. I think my third bounce is in the sand, and when I apply the little bit of curl, it swings it over and clips the rough, but you have to watch out how much curl you put on it. This is where it comes in handy to have a curl line, because you can go down there and the first time you hit it right, you know how much curl to put on it. It's probably out to like the red line, where I like pull the ball out to the red line, somewhere out in that area. I think the way that it works is the ball grid is here and the ball is sitting in the middle, so if I pull it out to the red line, I'm like half the circle. And it's plus 10%. 1.1 times 2.3 divided by 1.5 is 1.7 rings. 1.7. I think with this club, fuck, I might be able to just get her done. Two, 3. It's 2.1. It's 1.5. So there's 2, 3. Oh, and the perfect was in the deal. I hit it perfect. Oh. Oh. Alright, we're just practicing. I gotta remember, we're just practicing. What the hell am I thinking? We're just practicing, no big deal. I didn't set that up right anyways. I didn't feel good about that. I think I would have been fine there, but I didn't quite set that up right. What I should have did, you see, is I should have set it up with a shit ton of topspin. And that way I could have pulled back from the red line and I could have worked the wind out. And that's what I'm going to do this time. That pin placement's not that much different than it was before. It is further back into the, from the pin, from the tee box looking at it, it's further back into the right, but it's not really that much different than it was before. Okay. All the top spin, 2.8. What the fuck am I doing? Then I can pull back from the red line and set it up where I want it. .5 rings, 2.05. So I'm just going to do the 2.05. And I'm going to curl it just a little and just a slight bit of overpower. And hit it one ring great to the right. I'm trying to swing it around and get at the angle towards the cup. And I clip the deal there is that we'll go back and look at the picture on that. The deal there is that fairway pad runs like this. So if you're in the middle, you've got this depth, but if you're on the right hand side, it's the fairway's coming in. So you're a foot over and you could go another foot, a foot over, you could go another foot, and you keep hitting it to the right or the left and you start running out of room really quick. Dagnabbit. Let's try that one more time. Let's try it one more time. That's a hole we definitely want to get. We definitely want to get our shit together. Practice now. We're going to practice hole number 8. One more time. One more time. One more. One more. One more. Let's get at least one successful one through. We did have a headwind, but what I like there is the headwind was really low. So the wind right there didn't jack me up. I screwed myself up. You can't hit a 2-ring great right there. You can't hit it great. Shit, you need to hit that shot perfect. that's definitely one of those drive shots that you need to hit perfect. There's a lot of drive shots in the game. If you set them up right, you can hit them 2 rings great to the left or the right, and it'll still end up in a great spot. But that hole is one that you need to hit perfect, as it should be. You're trying to get on in 1 on a par 4, so I mean, you better hit it perfect. Come on, man. 2.8. We got the same exact wind, but going in the opposite direction. And that is fantastico for us. I'm gonna pull back from the red line. I want to get in the habit of pulling back from the red line. And where am I at? I am clipping the rough right like halfway in. And I'm not going to do any curl at all. I'm just going to see where it comes out. 2.1 rings. Hitting it perfect. And we'll see if it clips the rough or if it carried too much. I did a 10% there. We'll see if it carried too much. Almost did carry too much. And the old pin placement, that would have been super close to a hole-in-one. I think there we need to do probably like a 15%, or what would a 15% have done? That would have changed it to 1. That added on 0.1. 0.1 would have helped, I think. Or I could just add on 0.1. But if we had a bigger wind, adding on the 0.1 is not as good as adding on the, like if we had a 5 mile an hour wind there, that would have been a 336. 383 would have added on 0.2. I say a 15%. I say a 15%. That was a nice run right there, and that's going to roll back down. Excellent, excellent. Nice shot. That's what we need to get done right there. Regardless of the original setup and the difference in the wind direction and all that shit, the one thing that was different on this shot than the other was the freaking perfect. You gotta hit that drive shot perfect. You might be able to work out a great on one side or the other. But I don't know that you could work out a great to the left or the right and a perfect. I don't know. It's a draw. All right, what are we on now? Are we on hole number 9? I can't go by that. That was hole number 8, so we are on hole number 9. All right, what do we got here? Oh, jeez. Okay, I haven't played this hole in a long time, and I made a promise to myself the last time that we played this hole that I was done. So, in Expert, say I played this hole for, when this hole first came out, I played this hole in Expert, and you can get some shit done in Expert with wind direction that you can't get done in any other deal. And in Expert, there's a max overpower hook shot that you can do on this that'll try and get you from the tee box over to here. And the deal is if you end up in trouble, you end up in trouble in the front. If you can get your first bounce right, then on your second bounce is where your first chance to fail, and your second bounce is in this zone. So if you fail in front of this zone, you can recover. If you've got a Nirvana and a Spitfire, you can recover from here. If you fail on this side of the line, you are in some, you might be able to recover if you're close. But if you're back over in here and you fail at the beginning of the shot, you are screwed. And what happened was I was trying to stick onto this island and like stick myself right here and then go for the shot. But with the clubs that I had at the time, you know, like trying to make the spin around. But I think if you bring out a big enough ball, you can actually get over there and go for the deal. But I had made a commitment that no matter what, when I played this hole, I was going for this green, because if I failed, I would more than likely fail up here and I could recover. Instead of taking any risk of failing here, I'd start over here. Or I'd do the max overpower hook. because there is a max overpower hook shot that we can do here, and I'm going to work that out right now if we have to spend the other 15 practice tokens that I have, because I am not playing this hole to this island. Although I think playing it to the island, having the straight up shot is probably the way to go. But it's a layup shot, and it's one of those things where you need to lay it up to the same spot, and it seems like it's pretty easy, but it's a tricky layup shot. This is definitely, if you can, I would definitely take this with my rocker, my quarterback, or some accurate club that's got better ball guide, a little more control over it. Let's go out there and look at it. Let's go look at hole number 9. Let's go look at it. Let's take a look, a gander or two at it, and see what our options are. And I think what I'm going to do is start off with the max overpower hook. Let's see if we can do a max overpower hook shot on this and like what it takes. It may take 2 times to figure out the trajectory, and then we're dealing with you know, like where we end up on that trajectory. Like how can we make that better? And I'm not sure that I need to bring out a power 3 ball in order to do the max overpower hook, but I probably will. I go first. Okay, I have a power 3 ball, and you can see where my distance is. So if I switch that to a power 5 ball, you can see where my distance is. Any kind of positive wind, man, I can get on the island and I can really go for it. But even here, if I run all my topspin out, I can go for, I could hit from right here without doing max overpower and try and curl it. Now where I take the risk is on my second bounce, swinging around and clipping right here, so I'd need to pull my shot farther away so that my second bounce, and if my second bounce hits in here, then I'm going off in this direction. I'd probably pull it off 5 rings. I think that'd give me enough room. And I'm at the red, am I at the red line? I got a little bit of room on my red line. I don't think I need a topspin boost ball. I might be able to, with that APOC, go at it exactly like that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And it is way downhill, so I'm going to do a 20% times whatever the wind is. Whatever the wind is divided by 1.4. And I am not trying to stick it on that island. And I will tell you, if you are sticking it on an island, your shot, your adjustment to the cup is going to be totally different than somebody who's trying to lay it up at the front or do what I'm doing. I'm going to be 5 rings off. I'm not sure that's enough. I'm going to start off 5 rings off. 4.2 divided by 1.4, 3.6 rings. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. Bounce number 1, over curled it. I could go out. I can use another spot for my original. I gave myself 5 rings, but that was an over curl, so I can either cut the curl down and instead of going all the way over, go to like the black line. I have a feeling it's going to be somewhere between the black and the pink line, and then I'm going to need to pull it out kind of maybe even to the pink line, but probably like right out into here. What would I be working for? I'd be working for trying to get the bounce and run up the fairway. If I got my bounce to come through there and I got this bounce to hit on the fairway coming through, I'd be running through this way. So like somewhere out in this area would be my premium target. This would be my premium area. I could get a little bit closer and be even better, but like this would be on those days where I clip the rough coming through on that, that would be a pretty good shot, and I'm definitely downhill from there. Definitely. I'm gonna stick with the 20%. I'm gonna hit it at 20% wherever I'm at in my club. Oh, damn, my opponent got to go first. Okay, I'm gonna play it one more time. Let's see if we can get our bounces right. So let's think about what I did there. I set myself up 5 rings off of that transitional surface, and I was going off in this direction, hoping that when I put on all of my curl, here's bounce number 1, then when I put on all of my curl that I would stay inside, and I ended up out here on this plane. So I need to set my initial shot up farther out in order to open up in order to bridge the gap. Where is that? 5 rings off down here? So I either need to use less curl or I need to go out farther. And I'm going to use less curl. I'm going to go out to my black line. I'm going to cut the distance between my pink and my black. Maybe. If I can get an opponent. Hey, wait a second. I might have picked the wrong hole here. Let's make sure we're on the right hole. Jeez. Playdemic might have saved me right there. How long are you going to spend playing hole number 9, dude? As long as it takes. Is what I say. Let's go for a walk while we're waiting. We're waiting. Okay, that's crazy. Practice. Hole number 9. Practice. Come on. All right, we're back. Maybe if I can ever get an opponent Bubba Gump. Bubba. All right. 1.2 times whatever the wind is divided by 1.4 plus 21. Here we go. I'm making it this time. I've learned from we did artillery and we put our first shell out there, and then the captain came over and goes, "How'd it go?" And go, "We got it. We're dialing it in. We're on a roll there, Captain." What's the wind? 2.6. 2.32 rings. And 5 rings off. And at the +5 mark, it's 2.32 rings. And let's get lined up with the wind. 2.32. And there was max. I'm going to come in just a little. I'm going to do half. And I hit it 1 ring great to the right, which is on the outside. I'm really just thinking about the second bounce, making sure I'm in the fairway. and then seeing like where I could get over there. So a little teeny bit, like I could get just like in that area where I just bounce over, a little teeny bit more curl, maybe out to the pink line. I think I had room. I think I had room from that spot on that bounce, the second bounce. I had room on the left hand side. I could have put a little teeny bit more curl on it and gone out to the pink. We'll have to practice it one more time. Maybe. I think that's it. I'm going to lay it up where I was trying to shoot to, so that I can take the premium shot, so we can start working on that. At least look at it, because we know we can recover from there. That's the thing. That's the whole reason I'm hitting over here, is because I know that, like, if I get into trouble, I can recover from any spot over here. And you're not taking any risks on the front because you're not trying to stick it onto the island. Alright, I'm going to do a 20% times the wind divided by wherever the hell I'm at in my cloud. It's 4.5 divided by Goliath. There's Max, there's Min. I'm in Min Goliath. That's like 2.3, I think, right? 2.9. Couple backspin. A little teeny bit of backspin. Divided by 2.9, 1.86 rings. I couldn't get it settled. I was going to let it go right off the bat, and I couldn't get it settled. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it to hell. And I'm not so sure that I didn't come in on the wrong side, but I'm not so sure that area down there isn't one of those areas that you hit to the left and it comes into the right, and then you hit to the right and it comes in on the left. I'm not so sure. It'd be close. Still got a little bit of work on that hole, but I am done dicking around on this hole trying to stick my shot on this, because your fail area is right here. And if you do the shot that I'm looking at right here, in most cases my fail area is going to be up here, and you can easily recover from here, but you might struggle or not be able to recover from over here. And the only thing it cost me is a power 5 ball, and I have the opportunity of getting over here if I can get my shit together. I think on that shot right there, I had moved, what I did was I moved my shot up, and I was closer up in here. Instead of being 5 rings off, I was up here and I was only a few rings off. And so that put my second bounce further out on the island. So my third bounce was in the clear, and I was just trying to get enough. Didn't put quite enough going right here on my grid line. I should have went out to the pink. I think that's the deal. That is the deal. And if you have an extra mile, I think my extra mile hits out to that spot. So I think that's max curl on an extra mile if you got an upper developed extra mile. So, and you've got more tossing, you might be able to get, the ideal would be is that you get it to run through this area and you can get a run going down so that you can go as far as that shot would have went. It'll just roll out until it comes to a stop and there's no obstruction in its path. You're just trying to get that angle right. I came out over here on this side, so needed a little bit more curl just to clear it. And I had plenty of room from where I ended up in the rough over there. You can see how much depth of fairway there was here. So if I'd have been on trajectory, I easily could have got that run going forward. That's a nice little, if I will tell you right now that like where I think my red line's up here, I have plenty of room. You might, if you brought out a power 5 ball, you're going to be way back as far as where your red line's at. But with a big topper, with the 100 top spin, you might be able to get this done, and you might just have to use overpower. So if you've got, you know, mid-level clubs, that might be a way to get this same shot done. And one of the things I like about if you did have to use a big topper is you have plenty of room up here on this transitional surface. So it's very unlikely that you're going to overshoot the shot. So once again, you're not going to fail here. You're going to fail up here, and you can recover. Thanks for watching. Hopefully that was a good scouting report for everybody doing the rookie. Everybody got a chance to see where the tees are at and just taking some of them. Because what I have found about a lot of these tees, it seems like it's going one way or the other. Some of these courses, the tee placement, the tee changes, like whatever team did that, it didn't have really any effect on how we played the holes. And some of them, like whatever team did the Oasis, I will tell you that the new pin placements, there's a bunch of those holes that if you play them the old way, you don't even have a shot. You have to play them the other direction. Thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, ring the bell, and I will see you on the next one.